Now the phylum Mollusca. Phylum Mollusca, it is the second largest phylum in the animal kingdom. Second largest phylum. Second largest phylum in animal kingdom. We have to remember. First largest phylum in animal kingdom is Arthropoda. Second is this. Mollusca, mainly known for their soft body. Body is very soft. Soft bodied animal. The best example, snail, you might have seen it. Snail. Then one kind of snail, little bit larger, found in the water, we call apple snail. We call apple snail. Then bivalves, which is considered as one of the best seafood, bivalves. Then you know oyster, octopus. So all these are example for mollusca. Generally they are aquatic, like snail and all that, they are terrestrial. And since they are very soft, most of them, their body is covered with hard shell, calcareous shell, that is made up of calcium, and from its shell itself we prepare various calcium products. So that is about mollusca. Now the one thing, if you look at the whole body of mollusca, its entire body consists of these three parts. One is well developed head. Second one, visceral organ. Visceral organ means the soft body, that is the digestive system, reproductive, that all called visceral organ. And moreover, the third one, they have very well developed foot. You might have seen the movement of snail, how they move. You look at their foot. Foot is very strong. They have very well developed foot. So this is all about mollusca. Then we'll move on to the next phylum, Echinodermata. Echinodermata. Phylum Echinodermata. Echinodermata. First point, what is the meaning of Echinodermata? Echino means spiny. Dermata is skin. They are the organism with spiny skin. Example, sea star. Sea star we can call, or you generally call them as starfish. Starfish, star-shaped starfish. Sea cucumber, it looks like cucumber. Sea cucumber. Sea lily, it looks like lily flower. Sea lily. Then sea urchin. Like this we can give many examples. And one more important thing about Echinodermata, all of them are marine. They are not found in fresh water. So you call them, they are exclusively marine. They are exclusively marine. They are exclusively marine. And another important property of Echinodermata is they show water vascular system. In case of sponges, we have seen that is water canal system. This is water vascular system. Water vascular system mainly help them. Okay, they have the network of some tubules and all that by which the flow of water take place. Mainly help them in the locomotion and so many other activities. And here also same thing, Echinodermata, they show indirect development. They show indirect development. And you know now what is indirect development. Human being development is direct. Cat development is direct. Dog development is direct. Why? Young one looks like parent. Young one look like parent. Whereas here, the young one, they do not look like parent. They are the larval stages. Okay, larva, and then into adult. And very interestingly, we have learnt about symmetry. Larva in case of Echinodermata exhibit bilateral symmetry, whereas adult exhibit radial symmetry. You have seen starfish, radial symmetry. You can cut them into two equal half in any plane, whereas here you can cut them into two equal half in one particular plane. So that is about Echinodermata. Some some scientists considered Hemichordata also under invertebrate, but most of the scientists are of the opinion that till here what we studied is non-chordate or invertebrate. Next is chordate. In between that, they create a group called as protochordates. Protochordates. Proto means primitive. They are just before chordates. They don't have all the properties of chordate. They don't have all the properties of non-chordate. So they are intermediate and they are called as protochordates. And in protochordates, we have recognized three groups, and they are Hemichordata, second one Urochordata, third one Cephalochordata. So as I mentioned, I am telling again and again, in some book they consider Hemichordata as invertebrate, but actually it's protochordate. Because what is the meaning of hemi? Hemi means half. Hemi means half. So here notochord, you know what is notochord now? The rod-like structure. Yes, the notochord is present only in the half of the body. So hemichordate. Hemi means half. Not in the entire body, not along the entire length of the body. It is present only in the half of the body. So it is hemichordata. Urochordata. Urochordata. Urochordata means in them notochord is present only in the tail region. Only in the tail region, that too in the larval stage. That too in the larval stage. Here notochord is present only to the half of the body. Here notochord is present in the tail, that too in the larval stage. Cephalochordata, here notochord is present all along the length of the body from head, but it is simple notochord. It's not like the well-developed vertebral column as we see in other vertebrates. So because of these three are considered as protochordates, and moreover, very important, all of them are marine. They are found in seawater, and we find very few examples of those protochordates. So now after protochordates, we will move on to chordates or vertebrates. It's considered as phylum then. Okay. So vertebrata, vertebrates or chordates. Which are the groups here? Pisces means fishes. Amphibians like frog. Reptiles. Aves means birds. Mammals. Mammals. These come under vertebrates. Pisces we commonly call them as fishes, and aves we commonly call them as birds. Actually it's class Reptilia, class Amphibian, class Mammalia, like that we call. And now we will study a few detailed things about these groups.